we're finally ready to print. So I've got an assortment of supplies here that you're going to be needing, and I'm going to show you how it's done really quickly. Okay, so you got ink. You have what's called a baren. This is what you're going to use to press on the back of the paper to transfer the ink. A roller, a spoon for details. You'll see why later. And then of course you got your paper, you have a palette, and you have your printing plate. So this is the printing plate, and you can see that I've built up some of the edges, and hopefully those are going to catch ink in a cool way, and we can get started. So first thing you need to do is protect your work surface. I've got a piece of paper here underneath it, and I'm going to set that over to the side so I can show you about rolling out the ink. I've just got a plexiglass palette right here, and I'm going to put some ink on that, and then I'm going to roll it out. So it's important not to have too much ink, but you have to have enough. You'll have to experiment a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ink out on the palette, and then I'll take my roller and I'm just going to roll it. And it should kind of have the texture of velvet, and it makes kind of that noise. If it slides around instead of rolls, then you have too much ink. You want to get that ink spread all over the palette, because that means it's all over the roller too. Okay. What we're going to do next is start inking the plate. So I'll put my plate or my palette over to the side because I have limited work area to show you. And now I'm going to start rolling the ink on my plate. And this is the fun part. Because as you can see, the parts of the image that are higher are collecting the ink more than the parts of the image that are lower. What you can do is kind of selectively go in, like right here, where the roller didn't touch the plate. I'm kind of turning it a little bit so I can get some ink in those areas, because I do want them to show up. I don't want them to just disappear. So I'm trying to be careful that I get ink on everything that I really want to show up. And then I also want it to go around the edges of the printing plate. So I've got ink pretty much everywhere now. And I hope that you can see it with the white. I chose white so that you could see it more easily. Then I'm going to set the roller over to the side. I'm going to pick up my plate. This part's really important. And I'm going to turn this paper so that the dirty ink side is in. And then I'm going to just put the plate back on top. Now the fun part, we're going to put the paper on it. So I've got some purple paper. It's purple on one side, and I'm going to put the colored side down, and then you want to center it over your plate. And now you're just going to iron it down, press it down, kind of iron it with your hand so it sticks. And then you can use the baren to iron some more. If you've got little places and you're not sure whether or not the ink has transferred through all the way, then you can use the spoon and you can kind of go through and make sure that you've got all your edges. So I'm going to take the spoon around the outside edge of the cardboard too, because I definitely want the edge to print. Now it might be kind of tempting to want to just like rip this off of here. But a smarter thing to do would be to peel off, hold your hand here, peel off a corner and see if the ink transferred in a way that you like. So far so good on this one. I like that side. I'm going to put that back down real carefully, and I'm going to peel up the other side and see if it's as nice as the first side. And I think it's looking pretty good. So now I'm just going to carefully peel it all off. And there's my dragon print. I'm very happy with that. Now it's your turn to try.